What was that for?
What was that?
You looked and then you blew. I was like,
Oh, it
what
was
that for?
squinting because I couldn't see. In effect, our thought.
Mine just had to push the button. The one down at the bottom has the power button. Almost see it. No, it's right on the front.
I see the icon.
Yeah,
And just push it.
just push the icon.
I don't need it. It's fine.
Okay, we'll call to order our regular meeting of the West Valley City Council this February 8th, 2022. It is 6:30 and we're in the council chambers of West Valley City Hall. We note that all members of the council are present and we'll have our opening ceremony, which is going to be the Pledge of Allegiance, which I will lead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We now have our minutes of February 1st, 2022. Do we have any discussion or a motion on the minutes?
Move for approval of those minutes.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Those pass. We now have our comment period. Our comment period will be limited to 30 minutes. Any person wishing to comment shall keep their comments to 5 minutes and may only speak once. After being recognized by the mayor, please come to the microphone. Please address the mayor with your comments. This time is your time to comment and not for debate with the council. Council and staff will have time to respond within the 30-minute time limit. So on our sign-up sheet, we have Mr. Visak.
Thank you, Mayor. I thought you were going to call number one. Today I want to talk about the 5-foot parking rule. Last year, about 6 months ago, Chief Jacobs brought that to council. The council did it in a study meeting. They talked about it, came up with what they wanted to do. It was brought before the city council in an open meeting, voted on unanimously, and signed by Mayor Bigelow. A few months later after that, in my interactions with parking enforcement, I found out it wasn't being enforced. Now I find out it's being enforced, but in a limited status, where if you live there, you don't get ticketed. The reason for this ordinance, if I recall from when Chief Jacobs brought it, was a safety things. It shouldn't matter if a car is parked within that 5-foot range. It's about safety. It's not about who lives there. If the council in your wisdom want to make that change, then have Chief Jacobs bring a presentation, or you guys bring it up in a meeting and make the change instead of it being done a different way. There's nothing in Mayor Bigelow's signed part of the ordinance that was by the previous council agreed on. And so if you want to make a change on it, this body, the council, should make that change. That's all I have on it. So.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that missed the sign up sheet that would like to speak? Okay. Mr. Pyle, do you have any comments?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Any member of the council have a comment? No. Okay, we'll start with our first public hearing, ZT 7-2021. Mr. Pyle, would you like to introduce us?
Thank you, ma'am. Yes. So after a number of discussions and a lot of examination of various multifamily developments and different aspects of parking, we have brought before you a zoning ordinance text change that would define and establish parking standards for townhomes. And the upshot of it is that in those townhome developments, you would have to have, in effect, 4.75 total parking units per unit, with some small variation as it was outlined for the council, depending on whether there's a public street to park on or not. And so I don't think really there's a whole lot more description we need to add to that, other than the fact that the council is very concerned about parking for the residents, and that there is sufficient within the developments themselves, and it's not spilling out into the opposing or the adjacent neighborhoods.
Okay, thank you. So I will now open the public comment period. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this item? When you come to the mic, if you'd give your name and address.
Jim Visak, 5491 West Lockwood Drive, West Valley City. This week, I was out in my duties with my hometown handing out flyers. And where it comes into the parking was, I was in the trailer parks, private streets. No parking supposed to be on these streets. I could barely drive my SUV through these streets. Now it's moving out onto our streets. When we have these big developments come in as a city, we need to make sure that there's enough guest parking for them to park in the guest parking. The mobile home park, I believe, has 8 parking spots. 2 of them are ADA. That's it. So their residents park everywhere. Yeah, that's a unique situation, but as we are landlocked, things are going to start going higher, less places to park. That 0.75, I would actually like it higher, but that's better than nothing. And don't count street parking. I know people are against that because that just clogs up our streets, and then we have to go back later on, and Mr. Pyle has to order them to put no parking signs up. People knock them down, take them down, and you'll have one on one and one on the other. So let's do it right from now on. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing and ask if the council has any comments or a motion.
I motion to approve ZT 72021.
Sorry, the action is the ordinance
Oh.
2204.
Sorry.
That's okay.
But I would like to have that motion be that the adjacent street is taken out. Can I do that? Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
Right, we have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
No.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes by majority.
Okay, thank you. We will now move to our second public hearing. Mr. Pyle, would you please introduce us to application SA 8, 2021?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Gary Christensen is applying for final plat approval that would subdivide 2 lots in the Lake Park Place subdivision at 4099 West Lake Park Boulevard. That's currently zoned manufacturing and business research park, or BRP. So the current lot currently has 12.8 acres on it, the subdivision. It consists of 2 lots. And we are looking at subdividing lot 1, which is currently vacant. It would be divided into 1A, lot 1A, and lot 1B. Lot 1A would be 5.5 acres. Lot 1B would be approximately 7.3 acres. Both the lots would gain access off of Lake Park Boulevard. There is an option for the other street right there, Parkway Boulevard, but it's not currently planned to that for that exit.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, we will now open the public comment period. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this item? And if you'd give us your name and address?
Matt Rindlisbacher, 299 South Main, Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm just here representing the landowner, and I'm happy that you're considering this for us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we will close the public comment period and bring it back to the council. We will be addressing ordinance 22-05. Is there anyone that would like to comment or a motion?
I move forward with an approval for ordinance 22-05.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for coming. Okay, we will now move to resolution 22-25. Mr. Pyle?
Thank you, ma'am. This and the next resolution are concerned with the lease and then the purchase of a new fire piece of apparatus for the department, a ladder truck. This one would be leased and purchased eventually. Once the lease expires, it would be ours to own for $1,087,201. So this resolution deals with the financing for the purchase.
Okay, thank you. To the council for discussion or a motion?
Move for approval of resolution 22-25.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, our next resolution is 22-26. And it is for the fire engine apparatus. And I think Mr. Pyle pretty much took care of that already. So I'll turn it to the council for a discussion or a motion.
I move for approval of resolution 22-26.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
And Mayor Ling.
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously.
thank you. We will now address resolution 22-27. Mr. Pyle?
Thank you, ma'am. Salt Lake County and West Valley City have negotiated the transfer in effect of Hillsdale Park over on 3200 West to the city for the sum of $10.
Sweet. Okay. I'll
Why not
turn it-
9?
What's that?
Why not 9?
Why not none? Yes, good question.
So I'll turn it to the council for comment or a motion.
Move for approval of resolution 22-27.
Second.
Thank you. With a motion and a second, Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, we now have resolution 22-28. Mr. Pyle?
Thank you, ma'am. So this resolution would award a contract for a safe sidewalks project. One of those that we do regularly over the years. This one is at 35th South and 5200 West and would be filling in sections of sidewalk which have not been completed earlier. Contract would go to RC Enterprise Paving and Construction, who were the lowest responsible bid of 3 bids received, and it will be $155,000 project.
Okay, thank you. We'll now turn it to the council for a motion or discussion.
Do we know how many linear feet of sidewalk that is?
Let me see if it's listed in here. I'm sure we can get you that stat, but it's not in the issue paper. Mr. Johnson, do you know? About 200 approximately.
Is it just sidewalk?
It is only sidewalk, right? Okay, there's some minor drainage improvement as well.
What does that work out to be per foot? It just seems really high. Does it, am I the only one?
Now, let me run it up here. You'll probably do it quicker than I did.
$700 a foot.
That sound right, Dan? Or you want to speak to the cost?
Do you want to come up to the mic?
Oh, yeah.
We don't have anything back there.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then will you just give your name and department?
Dan Johnson, Public Works Department. So this is a great question as to the price per foot of this sidewalk. Some of the elements that come into play in this type of a project really are it's the property tie-ins with this property, I believe, has some retaining walls and some complexities that make things a little bit challenging. And we also have a bit of a drainage problem where we have 3500 South and 5200 West. There's a drainage problem at the southwest corner that we're fixing at the same time with this same project, which is included in the cost of the improvements. And so that, of course, doesn't really count towards the sidewalk. We're just using this as an opportunity to get that fixed at the same time. So it's a small project, and without state funds, we would not have endeavored to do this. But because the state has it's called the Safe Sidewalks Program, and I believe it's a 75% match. So they provide 75% of the funding. We match it with 25%, if I recall that correctly. And it's a program that's only eligible for, we can put in sidewalks on state highways within the city. And so 3500 South, we've used it on 3500 South and 5600 West quite a bit over the years. And so this is one more piece that we're trying to fill in.
Is the safe sidewalks able to use anywhere? Or does it require near school or near?
Anywhere on the state highway system. Yeah.
And do we just have the two? We have Redwood Road.
Oh, 3500 South, Redwood Road, 5600 West, SR 111, SR 201, 5400 South, Bangor Highway, Mountain View Corridor. Not that we're going to put sidewalks on all of those facilities, but.
Okay.
I think maybe next time you put on the project, because in here they have a sidewalk project, and maybe that reason why people they ask me, the council members, they ask you the price is so high. So maybe you can clear yourself next time, put in there like sidewalk project and also maybe drainage or retaining wall or something, you know what I'm saying, to make sure people understand.
Sure.
Before they vote.
And these little infill projects they're tricky and expensive, and there's a reason why a lot of these things have not been done to this point.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you so much. Any other questions or a motion?
Is there a motion already?
Nope.
Okay. I'll move to approve resolution 22-28.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously.
thank you. We will now move to resolution 22-29. Mr. Pyle?
Thank you, ma'am. So this contract would award Acme Construction, the 21-22 fiscal year 21-22 CDBG pedestrian ramp project. So for those who might not know, CDBG is Community Development Block Grant, federal funds that come down and they are usable in various portions of the city. CDBG funds would be $200,000 of the $290,000 project overall, and $90,000 of that would come from Class C road funding. There are locations variously throughout the city.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any comments or a motion?
Move to approve resolution 22-29.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
And Mayor Ling.
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously.
thank you. We'll now move to resolution 22-30. Mr. Pyle?
Thank you, ma'am. So this would authorize the execution of 3 quitclaim deeds. It's within the right of way of 2300 South. So this is over off of 5600 West. And it was a project that we did back in 2005. Was it 2005 or 1995? 2005. Starting to lose decades here. And at the time, how we did this was through a special improvement district. And there were some surveying errors made at the time, which were only recently discovered. So there's no real money transfer involved. We just are correcting those surveying issues and quit claiming those parcels of property over to the 3 named property owners. Let's see here. Oh, it's only 3 parcels, only 1 owner, Mr. Stephen J. Minor.
Okay, thank you. We'll now turn it to the council for comments and a motion.
A motion to approve resolution 22-30.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We now have under new business, our application SMI 12-2021. Mr. Pyle?
Thank you, ma'am. This is another final plat approval at 3909 South and 4800 West. It's 2 lots with 0.51 acres. Described as the Shake and Bake subdivision and will be a residential development, access gaining and aligned on 4800 West.
Okay, thank you. I will now turn it to the council for a motion or discussion.
I move for approval of application SMI 12-2021.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
And Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. We have 4 items on our consent agenda. They're pretty natural, normal things we do. Do we have any comments or a motion on those 4 items?
I move for approval of the 4 items of our consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Kamic.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously.
thank you. We will now turn to our unfinished business. We have, pretty sure, I don't know if it's a resolution or an ordinance, but 22-02. And I'll turn that over to Mr. Pyle.
Thank you, ma'am. So the reason this is unfinished is the item before it was originally proposed as an amendment to the fee schedule to put the first fee increase out to the fitness center that we've had in approximately 10 years. Our expenses and revenues are not quite matching up after that long period of time. So in consideration of that, the council also asked us to look into the possibility of aligning our senior discount and possibly imposing or entertaining a military veteran discount at the same time, which we then did bring that information back to the council. And now before you this evening, you'll have two options. The first option would be the revenue increase requested by itself without the changes in the discount. And the option B would be the same proposal, but would recognize a discount for veterans and seniors.
And on the seniors, we're just moving the eligibility age from 62 to 60, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Do we have any comments or a motion from the council?
A motion to approve ordinance 22-02.
Which option? Which
A or B?
Let's option A. Is that right? Yeah, A, B, yeah.
So A would be the one without the changes
Oh,
and B would be the one with the changes.
I made a mistake. B, the change. B, sorry.
So you're amending your motion to B?
Yep.
Okay.
I would second that.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. We have no need for a closed session tonight, so one last motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
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 And we are adjourned.